Good evening and a very warm welcome to the news at 10. I'm Lerato Mbele. Thank you so much for joining us. We start with the headlines. Government wants to halve the rate of new HIV infections by the year 2011, and this emerged during a meeting between the Department of Health and the Parliamentary Committee on Health, which happened today. Government also has plans to introduce treatment for 80% of people living with HIV. The main focus will be on encouraging the consistent use of condoms in order to achieve these particular aims. Officials also want to improve the screening and the process of diagnosing HIV through voluntary testing. The plan will be discussed at a national conference to be held next month. Ishmael Ayob will have to pay back more than 700,000 rands to the Nelson Mandela Trust Fund. Mr. Ayob is the former lawyer of Nelson Mandela. In the recent past, he'd been sued by the former state president for monies worth over 2.2 million rands that went missing from this trust. The legal team that's representing Mr. Mandela has accused Ishmael Ayob of buying cars and of paying hundreds of thousands of rand toward his own companies. Ishmael Ayob was removed from the trust in year 2005, and that's after a court battle ensued following the unauthorized sale of Mandela artworks. Today, Mr. Ayob's legal representative told the Johannesburg High Court that his client would pay back the money by the end of May. Ishmael Ayob has also apologized to Nelson Mandela. A dog owner has been charged with culpable homicide following the death of a 2-year-old girl. The girl was savagely attacked by a pack of about 10 mongrels at her home in East London. The dogs ripped through the little body of Cookie Peterson in the unfenced garden of her parents' home. Now, eyewitnesses say her limbs and other body parts were missing after the attack. Officials from the SPCA have impounded the dogs, and a magistrate will now have to decide on the fate of these animals. And the city of Cape Town has put on hold plans to construct a stadium that will host matches of the World Cup tournament in year 2010. Helen Ziller, the executive mayor of Cape Town, says this follows an unexpected hike in the costs. This afternoon, a special council meeting was scheduled to approve a budget of 2.68 billion rands for the construction of the stadium, but then that meeting was called off at the last minute. The mayor of Cape Town says there's a shortfall of 180 million rand, and she now wants the Treasury to help. Helen Ziller says there could be serious problems if they don't give their assurances in the next 2 days. And Muslim organizations in South Africa have condemned the President of the United States, George W. Bush, as well as his government, and that's over the issue of the United States' branding of 2 South Africans as